Hey, what's good, y'all? Fuzion here, back with another reaction video. Another first take video. Today we're going to be talking about James Harden. Stephen A thinks no one should pursue James Harden. I hard agree. Eventually we're going to have a conversation about James Harden and his antics. I feel like him and Kyrie sort of have the same same thought process on certain things, except I feel like sometimes what Kyrie says does make sense. With James Harden, I just feel like he's a lazy dude who wants to win, but only if it's like convenient for him. You've seen him force himself out of Houston. You've seen him force himself out of Brooklyn. And now he's trying to force himself out of Philly. Now, James Harden is a great player. He can still give you 20 and 15. He can still give you 40. But do you want everything else that comes with the package? And I don't feel like a lot of teams want to deal with that anymore. I could see him going to a small market team, or I could see the Lakers doing something stupid and like signing him and somewhat ruin our team chemistry. But that being said, he's still a skilled player, and I could still see people trying to pick him up and he still be useful on a team. The question is, how long will he stay on that team? I feel like Philly was a bad option because I don't think him and Joel Embiid, along with Tobias Harris, can really do anything, because I think that this team was so focused on the process. Once they got the process somewhat figured out, they don't know what to do after that. And I think that's always been the problem with Philly. Like, they have good and great pieces, but they can never find that one piece that gels them all together. And I think their shining star, of course, like besides Joel Embiid, is Tyrese Maxey. He should be getting the James Harden minutes, and I feel like he has always been the most consistent player on that team. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started, see what they got to say. And quick question before we do get started. Who do you think James Harden should join? What team do you think would benefit from having a James Harden type player on their team?
This offseason, the Philadelphia 76ers are waiting to see if James Harden will join the team for training camp in Colorado this week. Harden, who's been adamant about leaving the reign of Daryl Morey, did show up to the team's first practice yesterday. Okay, Stephen Smith.
Yes.
Which team should pursue Harden?
Well, first of all, respectfully, no one should pursue him. There are certain landing spots. I would love to see him in Miami. Because I think they need somebody with his skill set. He led the league in assists last year. We talk about James Harden like he's not still an all-star caliber player. He's not the three-time scoring champion that he once was, but he is a big-time player. He's an all-star, and he would definitely help them because of his ability to make shots and to play in that system. I actually think he needs Miami. He really, really does. That level of structure with an organization that he respects, that you can't get away with some of the shenanigans that he's engaged in. And I say that respectfully because I'm a fan of James Harden as a person and a player. I'm not a fan, doggy, of what I've seen him do. Forcing your way out of Houston the way that you did. Ultimately, the Brooklyn situation, I don't blame him nearly as much as people try to blame him, because I know a lot of the stuff that was going on there that really had nothing to do with him. Plus, it was always understood he wanted to be with Daryl Morey in Philadelphia. But
yeah, that's fair. Yeah, so just like I said with Houston, I do feel like that was a very sticky situation. And I don't know anything about like the interworkings of his whole thing with the Nets, but you got to understand, you chose to go there. You wanted to join and try to make this this super team, and when it failed, you packed your bags. How many times is he gonna do that? And people are just gonna ignore it. I feel like James Harden fans have some sort of like delusion of grandeur. This dude hasn't proved himself in a conference finals yet. He's been to the conference finals, I want to say twice, and he had a chance to be in the finals at least once when KD was out. And of course, we remember Steph Curry just did Steph Curry things. So, but at the end of the day, I just feel like I don't think James Harden can work in Miami because I think Jimmy Butler is going to hold him accountable, and I feel like that's going to rub him the wrong way, and then there's going to be beef, and then Jimmy Butler's going to do the like the Timberwolves conversation all over again. So I feel like it will be hard for that to really work. He's still a great playmaker, great scorer again, but you got to deal with everything else with this guy. You don't know when he's going to get like ticked off for something dumb, and then he's going to call you out on some dumb shit. He didn't even like participate in the first practice or media day. I feel like that is a indentation, I guess that's the right word, of what type of time he's on. And I personally think that that's not cool. I wonder if his teammates have called him out for that, because personally, I wasn't a huge talker in high school while I was playing basketball. Eventually, I learned that how to use my voice. I learned that I have some sort of weight behind like my voice just in like my work time and like my work hours and stuff. People tend to listen to me because I hold myself accountable as well. I know what I'm good at. I know what I suck at. I know how to ask questions to people who know what they're doing and then ask them to help me out. But I also hold you on your shit because I expect people to hold me on mine. I work at my job because I'm good at it, but I also know how to ask questions and how to hold myself accountable. James Harden isn't holding himself accountable, and none of his teammates are holding him accountable. I'm really starting to think that he goes to teams where there's not a strong voice to it, so he could do whatever the fuck he wants. I think that Joel Embiid was supposed to be that, but he's so sometimey that I don't even know what the hell he's gonna do next year, because I feel like if this doesn't work this year, he's out. The Rockets, who was their, I guess, voice on their team? I guess it was Chris Paul, but word around the league is people really don't fuck with Chris Paul like that. I don't know. Brooklyn, Kyrie and KD couldn't stay healthy, which I don't think that you can blame them for that. But they were missing that Draymond Green, Patrick Beverley. Patrick Beverley was on that Rockets team for a while, but I think that was crazy Patrick Beverley. He was still crazy, but I don't think he was as crazy as he is now, as far as holding people to their word and to what they're supposed to be doing. But I feel like during that time, it was just James Harden do whatever the hell he wants, and since he was him, nobody really said anything. You know, I feel like that you need one of the Morris twins. They have a really strong voice when it comes to checking people. Despite what everybody says, I think that Draymond Green is a very important piece to that Warriors team. And then we saw without him, they struggle because he holds people accountable on the defensive side. He may not be, you know, the primetime scorer or even the primetime like defender, but he's always been a great defender, and he also turned Kevin Durant to a respectable defender. My thoughts.
Daryl Morey to mean as much to you as he once did. It's one thing for you to just be salty about him, to be disgusted with him, and to want nothing to do with him. It's another thing for you to act like a petulant child where you are over there in China calling him a liar with a microphone and camera on you, and then coming back to the States and reiterating that point. We got the message, but you're a grown man. Stop that. Everybody's, your business ain't everybody's business. You don't get along with Daryl Morey now. We got the message. But Daryl Morey, and I'm not absolving Daryl Morey from anything, doggy. If he lied to James Harden and cost James Harden that money, he is wrong. And he should be made to answer for that to some degree. But let's also take into account Daryl Morey has done a hell of a lot of good things for James Harden. When he was in Houston for 9 years, Daryl Morey, I'm not sure Daryl Morey didn't personally give him pedicures and manicures. I'm not sure about that. That's how much he looked out for James Harden. Whatever James Harden wanted, James Harden got for 9 years. So for him to act this way now publicly, I'm not talking privately, because privately that's their business, but publicly for him to act that way so bad and so immature, that's just wrong, and I'm not going to support that. But that,
yeah, on my heart agree. I think this reminds me of like the Keke Palmer type thing. And despite what you think of her outfit and how she handled that stuff with Usher, it should have never got to the public eye on social media. Same thing with this. James Harden should have never publicly called him out like that. Especially if they are as cool as they swear they are, and especially if it's something having to do with business, because it'll look bad on James Harden for him to be calling people out like that. I think there's a time and a place to call people out. I don't think you should ever call people out online in public for everyone else to see, because now you gotta hold your ground, and I don't think you can really fuck with the guy after you just called him out, calling him a liar and all this other shit. I don't think that's cool. And I think because of that, James Harden will probably get sent to a bullshit ass team, and he's gonna be even more mad. I figure that could happen. That's pretty much all, man. I mean, I don't know what else they could really say about this whole James Harden situation. I personally think that James Harden will get picked up by someone else. I don't think that the 76ers should keep him, and I don't think they will keep him. I feel like he is what people say Kyrie is. I don't think Kyrie is a vampire or a locker room cancer. I think that's James Harden. And I think we're going to have a conversation about it. That's it. Tell me what you guys think in my comments below. I posted a video yesterday talking about the Bucks, if this new Giannis and Dame duo is the best duo in the league. I said yes, spoiler alert, but definitely go ahead and check that out, as well as we're going to be dropping a couple more videos this week also. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace.